It was an odd feeling, breaking into her own house. But as she squeezed through the basement window, Jenny felt a rush of excitement. I could get used to this, she thought. Jenny was in, undetected.
Home sweet home. What the heck? Who left this here?
Jenny's father had never carried a briefcase, and her mother couldn't afford one.
Let's see who this belongs to.
It was an odd feeling, breaking into her own house. But as she squeezed through the basement window, Jenny was in, undetected.
Home sweet home. This here?
Jenny's father had never carried a briefcase, and her mother couldn't afford one.
Let's see who this belongs to. Who carries around a fancy briefcase with a children's book inside? The Hawk and the Weasel. Hang on a second.
Jenny recognized the book. She'd seen a copy of it next to the Dean's lifeless body.
In the library. There must be something significant about it. It's written in a foreign language. Weird.
Strange indeed, but surely it had a purpose that would become clear later on.
Let's take a closer look. This feels familiar. Like I've seen it before. Wait, no! I've heard it before! On the radio in the underground lab!
Could there be a connection between the cryptic radio message and this book?
Let's find out. If I just follow the animals and numbers, I'm sure I can figure this out. Soon they will all listen, relive their rancid past.
The message read like a threat.
But from who? Could it be a message from the Dean's killer? Let me get this straight. Someone's broadcasting a sinister message in code, which is being picked up on a radio in an abandoned laboratory hidden in the forest. And the secret to decode this message is written in a children's book, which was locked inside a stranger's briefcase in my basement.
All of this was true.
That doesn't make it any less crazy sounding.
But not all mysteries could be solved in an instant. Sometimes questions had to percolate, like a good cup of coffee. Only then would the answers become clear.
I guess I'll let it brew for a bit. But right now, I need to get to my room and find my detective gear. Oh, crap!
Hey! What are you doing?
Nothing. Just looking for more beer.
Make yourselves at home, why don't you?
Forget about it! There's more in the back of the fridge!
They better not eat my cookies.
Jackpot! They got cookies too!
Hey, have we searched down here yet?
You lose one game of cards and suddenly you want to search the house! Can't handle the pressure, eh?
Oh, those, sir, are fighting words. You want to put your money where your mouth is?
Arthurton's finest, everyone.
There was no way Jenny could reach her bedroom without being caught by the police.
Which means I can't get my detective gear. Great.
But this was a basement, a veritable treasure trove of old possessions. Surely something around here would prove useful.
Maybe, but I can't see a thing. Let's shed some light on the situation. Of course the fuse is missing for the lights.
Jenny wasn't prone to sentimentality, but seeing her father's desk, the disorganized muddle of books, photos, and the faint smell of ammonia, all reminders that her dad was here not so long ago.
Miss you, Dad. This is from the day of Dad's accident. Mom must have kept it. The dean called the lab explosion an accident, but everyone in town seemed to blame Dad. This was years ago. I looked like a kid. One of the rare times that Dad wasn't making a goofy face. He used to say, serious people make serious mistakes. I might, need this later. Mending the molecular bonds of marriage. Mom and Dad both worked an awful lot.
Jenny rarely saw the two of them together.
This one test tube looks recently used. The others are all covered in dust.
A small puddle of liquid had pooled on the desk.
Looks fresh. Still sticky. A field guide to fascinating flora. Written by Weiss, Felding, and Strasberry. Did the dean write this book? Acrid inspections report. I've never seen this before. October 5th. That was 1 week before.
Her father's accident.
The dean signed the report.
Someone had circled the signature in red pen.
This contradicts the newspaper article which stated my dad made a mistake. Everyone in town blamed him for the accident. But they were all wrong. The lab was unsafe. He shouldn't have been working there.
And worst of all,
Dean Strasberry knew. But he still let my dad work there.
Any rational mind could see it. Strong evidence linking her mom to the Dean's death.
This doesn't prove anything.
But it was a clear motive for murder. Revenge.
My mom wouldn't do that.
But who else would see it that way?
There must be an explanation. I just don't know what it is yet. I can't let this fall into the wrong hands.
Was Jenny sure this was the right thing to do? It broke every rule in the book. Why would she need to hide evidence if her mom was truly innocent?
Mom isn't here to defend herself. It isn't fair.
But however she tried to justify it, Jenny knew this wasn't the choice of a great detective.
I need to buy myself some time. I can't afford anyone jumping to conclusions before I've had a chance to investigate. Aha! The missing fuse. Then there was light.
Jenny would need to work quickly to remain undetected.
Who knows when they'll come back. Now, where's the most likely place to find a makeshift detective kit?
The week after Jenny's father died, her mom boxed up his things and tucked them away in the basement. Jenny had argued with her.
It was like she was trying to erase him.
But seeing them now, being reminded of him, Jenny understood.
I don't think Mom would have put her CSI equipment in any of these boxes.
A shaft of light peeked through the boxes.
There's more stuff back there. I just need a way through.
Jenny's instincts had been correct. Dozens of boxes lined the back wall of the basement.
There's probably something useful here, but it'll take forever to search through them all. CSI supplies. That must be Mom's old gear. It's not as good as mine, but at least it works. More or less. My key to the city. An old set of lockpicks.
Tucked away at the bottom of the box, something colorful caught Jenny's eye. She pulled it carefully from the container and unfolded it.
This must be Mom's old jacket.
It smelled of formaldehyde and fingerprint powder.
From her CSI days.
And so, she tried it on.
Fits like a glove.
A giant oversized glove.
And it smells like Mom.
Her mother had never felt so close, and yet so far away.
I won't let them take you away from me, too.
Jenny's search was complete.
It's not the world's best detective kit, but it'll do.
For the first time in her life, she felt like a real detective. She had a serious crime to solve.
And a seriously sharp outfit to match. Somebody else is here. That was no cop. What was he doing in my house? I should follow him.
Was Jenny ready to follow the mysterious man in black? The man in black. Who was he? Where was he going? There was only one way to find out.
Where are you headed, creepy man in black?
Jenny couldn't simply chase the mysterious figure.
He's bound to notice me if I follow too closely. I need to get out of his line of sight. That's my way up. If only Keith was here to pull a ladder down. I'll just have to get it down the old-fashioned way. There he is. The bridge should slow him down a bit. Huh? How did he do that?
The man in black had taken the higher path towards the almost done bridge.
That's a dead end. Why is he going up there? There's nowhere to hide on the bridge. I'll go underneath and spy on him from there.
Jenny couldn't just walk onto the bridge and blow her cover. No, she'd keep her distance and see what the man in black would reveal when he didn't know he was being watched. The man in black neared the edge of the unfinished bridge. His methodical movements unnerved Jenny.
I need to get a better look at him. I'll climb the outside of the bridge and snoop on him from there.
The plan was daring but reckless.
I have no choice. He's my only lead.
And so, undaunted by the dangers that lay ahead, Jenny LeClue, wearing her mother's jacket, advanced towards the bridge. Yesterday a child, today a courageous adventurer.
Easy does it. I don't want him to hear me coming. Jenny glanced down for the first time, and immediately wished she hadn't. She clung tightly to the stone wall. The ledge beneath her feet was narrow, barely wide enough to stand on. One false move and... Focus, Jenny. Perfect pitch! The hallmark of a serial killer. Maybe I can get a closer look. There you are.
The brim of his hat concealed his face in shadow. The man in black remained an enigma.
Could be 3 kids in a raincoat for all I know. He's just standing there. What's he waiting for?
Yes. No. Yes. No.
Wow, this guy's a real chatterbox.
Yes. It's all there. Clear as day.
Who is he talking to?
No, it wasn't there. Yes, the whole house. She must have it,
What was he looking for?
of course. Where? Hold on.
What's he doing now? Where did he go? A super secret spy stash? I can't hear what he's saying.
Yes, I'll take care of her. Tonight. They change shifts at 4. Yes, it's all here.
I have to see what's on that paper.
Yes, the biggest cross. I know.
He's destroying evidence. I have to get down there before it's lost for good.
She was only distracted for a moment, but a moment was enough.
Damn, how does he do that?
Jenny held the soggy paper delicately. She hadn't recovered all the pieces, but enough to discern the message.
Beyond the fallen angel, through the crumbling arches, past the wooden gates. The entrance is buried there. Look for the biggest cross. Don't forget to pay your respects.
What could it mean?
They're directions to a secret entrance.
But an entrance to what?
Maybe there's more in the back. Mom?
Jenny's heart skipped several beats. She remembered the man in black's words.
I'll take care of her tonight. He's going to...
Jenny couldn't bring herself to say the words.
Mom's in terrible danger!
Thankfully, her mother was safely locked away under the watchful eyes of the police. He'd never get past them.
He won't have to. These instructions lead to a secret entrance. A way to get to the jail without being detected.
But where?
The entrance is buried there.
Buried. The word bounced around her brain like a pinball. Where did people bury things?
The graveyard!
Of course! The graveyard was in the same part of town as the jail.
Angels, arches, crosses on graves.
All features of the graveyard.
I have to get there before he does. I have to save my mom.
This was all well and good, but even if she was right, even if she managed to reach her mother before the man in black...
How am I going to break her out?
It was at this moment a rather distressing thought popped into her head. As loath as she was to admit it, Jenny needed help. She reached into her jacket pocket and removed the walkie-talkie Susie had given her.
Susie, are you there?
Jenny? Thank goodness. Are you okay?
What is that awful music?
Oh. I'm just rehearsing my dance for...
I regret asking. You said earlier you wanted to...
Yes?
You said you wanted to...
Help? Of course. Anything for you, friend.
Okay, meet me at the graveyard right away.
The graveyard? But it's nearly midnight. What if I get caught?
It's urgent, Susie.
I don't know, Jenny. I don't think I can do it.
Damn it, Susan! You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
But what do you need me for?
My mom's life is in danger, and I'm the only thing standing between her and death. Do you really want her blood on your hands?
No!
Good. Then meet me outside the graveyard as soon as possible.
Okay. Whatever you need. What should I wear? I'm thinking practical but colorful.
I don't care. Just bring your silent explosives.
What? What do you need explosives for?
I'm gonna break my mom out of jail.
No. I am an artist. I will not be dictated to by some pen pusher in an ivory tower. It's too long, too violent, too dark. These are my characters. So why does it feel like they're rebelling against me? All this fighting, all this drama, and for what? Jenny and Susie should be best friends by now. Maybe it's time to wrap this one up. End on a happy note. Yes, let's fix this nonsense once and for all. You all right, Rufus? First, I need another drink. Looks like fate decided for me. This one can't end like the others. They won't publish it. I must write something different, something darker. It's the only chance I have of saving her. I'm sorry, Jenny. You'll see your mum soon. But for now, it's got to be the graveyard. Was the man in black the Dean's real killer? Without any evidence, Jenny couldn't be sure. A great detective never made assumptions. The most important thing was getting her mum to safety. And to do that, she'd need to beat the man in black.
One thing's for sure. I'm gonna need to be very quiet. What the hell?
Hi, Jenny. I'm here. And I brought snacks.
This is a covert mission. Could you draw any more attention to yourself?
Sorry. I just wanted to get here as quickly as I could.
Did you bring the explosives?
Of course. Et voila. Now remember, explosives are incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. Hopefully it'll be enough.
Okay, I'm here. What's the big emergency, Susie? What is she doing here?
Keith, you came!
You invited him?
I thought it'd be a good opportunity for you to talk.
Now is hardly the time.
I can't bear the idea of two best friends never speaking again. It's too sad.
What's wrong with you?
I should go.
No, Keith, wait.
There was so much she wanted to say. But she had ruined the Dean's funeral, embarrassed Keith in front of the whole town. Worse, she hadn't been there for him in his hour of need. She wanted to tell him all about the Dean's ring, the man in black, and the mysterious room buried in the forest. But none of it would bring his father back. Sometimes the right thing to say was also the hardest.
I'm sorry.
Poor Keith. Angry, grieving, conflicted. His whole world turned upside down. And the one person he most wanted to confide in, he couldn't.
I really should go. Goodbye, Jenny.
Well, that didn't go exactly as I planned. Are you okay, Jenny?
As angry as she was at Susie, Jenny knew this was a situation of her own making.
Let's just focus on the task at hand. Ugh, locked. I'll have to break in.
Or we could just wait for an adult.
And let the man in black get to my mom first. Are you trying to sabotage everything?
I just don't see why we can't tell the police what we know and let them sort it out.
Because, Susan, the police are incompetent. I'm not putting my mom's life in their hands. Besides, for all we know, it could be an inside job. Now, keep a lookout while I open this lock. Are you coming, Susie?
Into the graveyard?
There's no time to waste.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm just, I think I need a minute.
Why don't you wait here and keep a lookout? I'll go on ahead. I've got the radio if I need your help.
That sounds like a great plan. Thanks.
Radio me if you see anything suspicious. Especially if you see a man in black carrying a briefcase and a blue umbrella.
Briefcase, umbrella, got it.
Lock the gate behind me so no one suspects anything. And keep out of sight.
Here, don't forget the explosives.
Jenny had broken in undetected. Now she had to find the secret passage that led to the jail.
I just need to follow the clues from the photograph. I'm coming for you, Mom.
A guardian of the graveyard cast her stony gaze over the burial ground, watching over the departed, protecting their peaceful slumber.
Why must everything in a graveyard be so creepy?
Of course, this guardian had wings.
Beyond the fallen angel! There are lots of angels here. Which one is the fallen angel? The Strasbury Mausoleum.
Amongst the fresh flowers was a note. Beloved father, educator, and botanist, your memory will forever blossom in our hearts.
Don't worry, Mr. Strasbury. I won't rest until I've found your real killer. Here lie the earliest settlers of Arthurton. They kick-started our great town's growth and prosperity.
The note had read, "Look for the biggest cross."
But none of these graves have crosses.
No matter. Perhaps there were other secrets to find here.
That sword looks like it might move. How am I gonna get up there? Something's pushing against the stone. It looks like it could collapse at any minute.
Four discs of solid granite with something carved into the face.
It's all scrambled up. I'll just straighten them out.
But try as she might, the discs wouldn't move.
Hey, Dad. I can't stay long. Mom's in trouble, and, well...
Jenny tried to be brave. But the past few days had taken their toll on our hero, and finally, it all poured out.
Everything's falling apart. I wanted a real mystery to solve, but... I didn't think it would be like this. Dean Stroudsbury's dead. Everyone in town thinks Mom killed him, and Keith won't talk to me. I don't know who to trust. And now someone is trying to kill Mom, too. I have to save her, but I'm not sure I can. Why did you have to go and die on us? It was a really crappy move. I wish you were here.
Five stone swords adorned the strange entryway. Jenny tried to move one.
Wow, they're all stuck tight. I can't move any of them by hand. Here lie the earliest settlers of Arthurton. They kick-started our great town's growth and prosperity. Some days you just feel super smart.
Jenny studied the stone discs, now perfectly aligned.
It's the face of a badger. That's unusual. Something tells me this isn't a tomb.
If the huge coiling wires hadn't made it clear, the hulking metallic shell certainly did.
This isn't a tunnel. It's the entrance to another laboratory, just like the one in the forest. How many of these are there?
The presence of such unusual and foreign objects in Arthurton begged even bigger questions.
Who put them here, and for what purpose?
It seemed to Jenny as if the graveyard itself had been built around the sphere. A perfect hiding place. If something this conspicuous could be so easily concealed...
What else is Arthurton hiding? Well, at least we know it's working.
As a dozen intricate machines whirred to life, Jenny noticed a remarkable resemblance she had overlooked before.
Some of this equipment looks like the stuff in Susie's lab. Can't believe I missed it before. That girl owes me some answers. Another radio. Maybe these are used to communicate between laboratories.
It was a hunch, but if it were true...
Whoever's transmitting the message could be in another sphere somewhere in town. It's the same voice as before.
This code was different from the last.
Just as strange, though.
Jenny carefully transcribed the words into her journal.
Let's see what the hawk and the weasel have to say about this. Purge infected, soon only death. Forever silenced, despair herself is near.
This message, as sinister as the last, sent Jenny's analytical mind into overdrive.
Is the man in black sending these messages?
Purge infected, forever silenced.
Could that have something to do with Dean Strasberry? It can't be a coincidence that I found a copy of the same book by the Dean's corpse. But how are they connected?
Soon only death, despair herself is near.
And now they're coming for my mom. What does she know that they're willing to kill her for?
This contraption was new to Jenny, but something about it caught her eye.
Doesn't seem to be working. Probably just a loose connection somewhere.
A piece of rare Arthurtonian quartz, expertly carved and shaped with meticulous precision.
Could be an antenna, or maybe a power coil. But where does it get its power?
Jenny knew that the best way to fix anything electronic was...
to mess around with it until all the lights come on.
If being a great detective didn't work out, Jenny had a promising career in machine repair to fall back on.
It's still not working. Maybe I'm missing something.
A large metallic slab with a distinctive indentation carved into its surface.
That shape. Where have I seen it before? The Dean's ring! It fits.
In fact, it fit perfectly into the slot, as though it were made for it.
Lost an eye!
The machine's true application would remain a mystery, for now. But whatever its purpose, the implications were overwhelming.
Dean Stroudsbury is somehow connected to this place.
Had the Dean been aware of the secret hiding within his ring?
Whether he knew or not, it's likely he was killed because of it.
Hidden amongst a web of cables, the average eye would have missed it. but Jenny LeClue was a great detective.
There's a book pinned beneath that cable.
Confidential. The word was music to Jenny's ears.
The Council of Three. Never heard of them. Sounds like he didn't know who they were either. But they paid for all of this? Zazer.
Jenny recognized the name, but couldn't put her finger on where she'd heard it before.
So this lab is his invention. He called it a Zazer sphere. Well, at least I've got a name. These machines were built to study and harness the power of Arthurton's greatest resource. They were experimenting on the town itself. He designed a bigger sphere. Bigger than this? Did he ever build it? And if he did, where? There was a badger on the door to get into this lab. So this must be the experiment he was talking about. Exhaustion, rushed schedule, dangerous conditions.
The parallels with her father's own working conditions were distressingly clear.
All dead. All my fault.
The words echoed across the metal walls, ghosts of a past tragedy.
What did he do? It must have been terrible. This entry is from much later. There are lots of pages missing. It seems that whatever happened before, he carried on his work long after.
As is the case in all tangled mysteries, every new piece of evidence raised more questions than it answered. But she now knew the purpose of this Zazer sphere and the name of the people who had built it.
The Council of Three.
It wasn't much to go on, but it was a start.
What's this? Another blank scrap of paper.
Please enter authorization code to begin.
1028.
Code accepted. System authorized and armed for activation. Preparing to run experiment 12, cycle 78. Sphere hermetically sealed. Magnetic transducer coils charging. Accumulating voltaic cells. Commencing experiment 12-91. Radioactive safety margins cleared. Procedure 12 completed successfully. Decompressing spherical chamber. Remember, a healthy employee is an effective employee. Please leave the station for your mandatory 15-minute smoking break.
I wonder what it did. At least I wasn't covered in plasma.
Jenny, did you find the entrance?
Not yet.
Jenny was hesitant to share her discovery, but Susie might have vital information.
Where did you really get the parts to build your machines?
I told you, there's a warehouse full of them at my father's factory.
And that's the only place you've seen equipment like that?
Well, yeah. Where else would I have seen it?
Did the Glatz Corporation ever build underground labs?
No, I don't think so. Why would they?
To hide them?
From who?
Good question. I have to go. Keep out of sight and let me know if you see anyone.
I will. Good luck, Jenny.
Beyond the fallen angel. This is it. The entrance must be through here.
Another coded message in another hidden laboratory. A secret tunnel under the graveyard. How long had these things been in Arthurton? Who was responsible for them? And how was all this connected to the Dean's murder?